So what's the latest in the Nigerian coup d'etat, from Niger? So latest news is that the economic bloc ECOWAS plans to send troops to Niger and stop this coup d'etat, or basically arrest the soldiers behind the coup d'etat. And from the sources is that Nigeria is ready to send their troops within a week to Niger and restore the democratically elected government. So that's what they said. And Nigeria is supported by the European Union. A lot of people are saying that it's the EU that made the request to Nigeria to consider sending their troops to Niger. So that is what is happening. And a lot of other countries, including Mali and Burkina Faso, have said that if Nigeria tries to intervene in Niger, then they have to join and defend the Niger coup d'etat leaders. And the same thing happened the same comment was made by Algeria, the northern neighbor of the Niger country, said that in case there is a military intervention either from France or NATO or the EU, then they will support Niger or the coup leaders in Niger. So that is the latest. I want to know what you think in the comment section below. So what is at stake here? Because today France began basically evacuating their own nationals from Niger back to Paris. 3 planes carrying French nationals landed at the Paris airport. So they have started this evacuation because they're saying that there are negative sentiments from people in Niger towards French interests and French people. That is true because on Sunday, was it Monday? On Sunday, there was this crowd that went and started stoning and burning the perimeter wall of the French embassy. So that means they could be right. People in Niger do not like the French, and there's the geopolitics that are already playing out, where a lot of citizens of Niger are carrying Russian flags and basically banning the French flags. So that is the same thing we witnessed in Mali and Burkina Faso. The other thing you need to note is that when France withdrew their military presence in Mali and Burkina Faso, about 12,000 troops from those two countries was relocated to Niger, where France has a base. So that is what is at stake. The other thing is the United States. The US constructed the largest drone base in Africa, called the Niger Air Base 201, which is even larger than the one they have in Djibouti. At this base, which shares a fence with the Diori Haman International Airport in the capital Niamey, the US has 800 US personnel, So they have 800 civilian and military personnel at this base, and they operate several aircraft from that base, among them the drones, about 5 MKU-9 Reaper armed unmanned aerial vehicles, also known as UAVs. They also have several jets, and they also have refueling aircraft. They're like the Boeing C-135FR, which they use to refuel these drones for them to stay in air for more than 24 hours. And definitely they have about 10 transport aircraft, the C-130, Lockheed C-130 transport plane. They are there. So that is the interest the US is concerned about. 800 American military personnel are there. And then we are talking about the French military personnel also there in that country. That is what is at stake. But the other thing that the media is not talking about is the uranium. So there's this company from France, Areva, which recently actually rebranded itself and changed the name to Orano. Areva, the same thing. So Orano has left some uranium material in the mines in Niger, And the EU is concerned that some of this material could find its way in the hands of terrorists, those Islamist jihadists in West Africa, and they can use it to make dirty bomb. And if they make that kind of a weapon, the target could be Europeans or the West. And then pollution, that is what the media is not going to talk about. Pollution is also there. The company Areva or Orano has left thousands and thousands of radioactive soil and material in the desert in Niger. And this waste, which they have left there in the open, is producing a gas called radon, which is radioactive. And once this gas, or the strong winds in the desert spreads this radioactive dust, it is said that the surrounding population could be affected. They are going to get basically radioactive poisoning, cancer, and things like that. And according to a research by an NGO called Greenpeace, they also found that the soil and underground water in the area where 100,000 people live in, not far from the mines, was contaminated with this radioactive material. So, and then they go ahead to say in the report that these 100,000 people living in the area have no alternative but to keep drinking that water, even after being told that it is poisoned. So they have no other source of water, so they have to continue drinking it and hope that they'll survive some few more years. So the exposure is dangerous, and this is not something the media from the West is not going to talk about. They are more concerned with discussing the Western interests. That is the US base there, where the US is flying drones illegally over other countries' jurisdiction to hunt down the people they don't like. And the French interest, which is gold and uranium in Niger. So they are there to protect the mining operation in that country and any other country in West Africa for that matter.